thank you, Speaker, for receiving us. I'm Jimmie from Voice Africa magazine. Yeah, so we of course I'm a Kenyan. I represent Voice Africa magazine in Kenya. But for the rest of Africa, they will not really know. So who would you say you are? Who is Kevin Kinengo?
Thank you very much, Nicholas. My name is Kevin Kinengo Katisia. I'm the Speaker of the County Assembly of Kitui. And yes, I agree with you that very many people may not know who is this Kevin, who is the Speaker of the County Assembly of Kitui. I'll start by describing myself as a youth of 32 years of age, who is also an advocate of the High Court of Kenya, and a holder of the bachelor's degree of law, a holder of master's degree of law, and I'm now pursuing my PhD of law still. I'm also a lecturer at the University of Nairobi, where I teach public international law, and I practice law. I have my own law firm by the name KK Katisia and Company Advocates. Previously, I have served as a youth leader in various places. In the University of Nairobi, I have served as the Secretary General of an umbrella body of all students, law students, by the name Kenya Law Students Association, for all students in Kenya. I've been the Secretary General. I've also served as a youth leader in Wiper Democratic Movement, which is my own party. And when I was the youth leader in my party, I got a chance to become the personal assistant to the party leader of Wiper, that is Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, who is the former Vice President of the Republic of Kenya. In fact, he was the 10th Vice President of the Republic of Kenya. I worked with him as his personal assistant from 2015 until around 2018, when I went to Makueni County Government, where I served as the political advisor to the former governor of Makueni, His Excellency Professor Kivutha Kibwana. And actually what qualified me to be appointed as a political advisor is because I had previously served as the personal assistant to the former vice president, who is the party leader of Wiper. And I can say that I gained a lot from my former boss, being a diplomat and being a former vice president. He has actually mentored very many young people like myself. And when I got the chance to serve as the political advisor to the governor, I had some experience, which I can say I gathered from my party leader. And from Makueni County is when now I joined Kitui County, because I applied to become the speaker as a very young Kenyan of only 30 years of age. I applied to become the speaker, and I actually used the youth card to attain this position, because very many people in Kenya are now believing in the young people. To be precise, Kitui County, almost 40% of the MCAs we mean the members of county assembly, 40% are young people of my age. And actually I was able to become the speaker, and because of the mentorship which I received from my seniors in the party, Wiper, that's why I've been able to be elected as the speaker. So I can say Kevin Kinengo Katisia is a young Kenyan who has been brought to this position by Kenyans of goodwill, like my party leader, His Excellency Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, and the people of Kitui County who believed in young people and elected young MCAs. And those young MCAs believed in a young speaker. You know, a speaker is a leader of the assembly. So the young MCAs believed in a young speaker. And I can say that is who I am. And a happy Kenyan who is happy to serve as a speaker of the County Assembly of Kitui. Yes.
I'm really happy to note that you were once advisor to
Yes.
And because 2019 Voice Africa magazine did award him actually.
Oh, wonderful.
Among the best governors across Africa.
Yes.
And so I can say that food does not fall far from the tree.
Thank you.
He was getting the advice from you when I believe you are really
Yes.
something.
Thank you.
Looking in the context of Kenya,
Yes.
evolution,
Yes.
would you say that the last 10 years plus, has it really been naturalized? Where would you categorize Kenya? Is it really working, or are we still struggling to put the baby steps would you really say that devolution is better than centralized government?
I can say in a nutshell that we are struggling as devolved units, but it is working. We are not really at the baby steps. Maybe we are somewhere, we have some teething problems. Yeah, now we have some little teeth coming up. So all I can say is that devolution has made Kenya better. Because even in our constitution of Kenya 2010, Article 1 believes that sovereignty belongs to the people of Kenya. And actually devolution is aimed at taking this power back to the people, whereby the national government devolves functions to the county governments. The county governments are nearer to the people than the national government, because this is where we have the lowest structures of administering the development projects in the various county governments. And I can say so far, so good. 10 years down the line, I can say we have not yet attained full devolution, but we are somewhere. I think we should be around 70%, if I'm not wrong. And the other day, last year, August, we had the council, the devolution conference in Eldoret, and even the president of Kenya said that in a very short while, all the devolved functions will be taken to the counties. And we believe if devolution can receive the maximum support from the national government, then we shall be able to really ensure that the people at the grassroots level are able to receive the development they require. So far, so good, but we still have issues. And I believe with the good collaboration between the national government, headed by the president, and the counties, headed by the governors, that collaboration will ensure that we make devolution work. So far, not very well, 70%. We have another 30% to go, but we are doing well. It's better than it was before devolution. Yes.
Talking about governance, you did mention that you once worked for His Excellency Musyoka.
Yes.
And that you were his personal assistant.
Yes.
I know right now there is a push for himself and the party looking towards 2027.
Yes.
Would you say he is credible to be the president of this country, and why?
Nicholas, I can tell you, I believe that the 6th president of the Republic of Kenya will be my party leader, His Excellency Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, because he has what it takes to be a good president. He has been a very good vice president. In fact, people, when they talk about the success by President Kibaki, they forget that he was the vice president to the late President Kibaki. And when he was the vice president, he was able to, actually he was the leader of government business. Yeah, the head of the government, yeah, and he did his best to ensure that Kenya achieved maximum development record. And I believe under his leadership, and the Kenyans have seen that he's a humble man, a man of integrity. He has come from a very low background up to where he is. He knows the hassles the common man goes through. You know, I happen to come from the same village with my party leader. Yeah, we come from Sekuru, and I can tell you, life there is not that easy. Yeah, and he has really struggled and fought to be where he is now. And I believe he is better placed to lead this country. We're not saying that others are not better placed, but I believe that he's better placed. He has the experience. Yeah, he knows this country very well. He has the best interest for this country. And myself and other young people, we shall lead from the front in fighting for him, because he has mentored so many young people. And actually, the challenge I can pose to my fellow youth is that let us look for a person, a president who will have the youth agenda in his heart. And I can tell you, Nicholas, me at that 2 years of age, I'm the speaker, heading a very serious arm of our county government, under the mentorship of former Vice President Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, and so many other young people out here.
Yes, now that brings me to the question of yourself being young, at age of that, you really decided to play a shot in this position.
Yes.
And I know your position, obviously, they were a bit older.
Yes.
They were more experienced in terms of having been in different governments.
Yes.
But you still had the courage and you do your shot in it. What drove you to really challenge someone with the expertise and the who also had like many years in leadership.
Yes, yes.
And probably he had deep-rooted networks and
Yes.
so forth. But you challenged him,
Yes, yes.
and you still got the position.
Yes.
What you tell the young people who are listening to this? Because I know there are many young
Yes.
people out there
Yes.
who aspire and who want to be in a position.
Yes, yes.
Right now, I've been talking to a lot of students from across the universities
Yes.
who are pushing a bit of how young people can be
Yes,
in
yes.
leadership. And
Yes.
of course, you have mentioned that you were one time a leader in the university.
Yes, yes, yes.
So, what drove you to really try that shot to be a speaker
Yes, yes.
of a county assembly?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
What drove me, I can say, is the urge. Having served with the best leader in this country,
Yes.
I can tell you with a lot of confidence that Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka is the best leader in this country.
Yes.
And I got the privilege to work with him, the best. Yeah, and that leadership desire was in my heart, and I always wanted to do my best and serve the community, yeah, to the best of my ability.
Yeah.
And I said, why can't I try this? And I think of importance is the desire and the passion, and you must be having the passion. As a young person, you must have the passion, the desire, the drive, and then believe in yourself. I think I had a lot of confidence when I was contesting with this position. People were wondering, this young man, how, me, I was telling them, I'm going to be the speaker.
Yes.
So you must believe in yourself as a young person.
Yeah.
Sometimes we are told as young people, we are the leaders of tomorrow.
Yeah.
Me, I always say that I'm the leader of today.
Great.
My tomorrow is today. My tomorrow begins today. There is no tomorrow without today. Today, tomorrow. So there is no tomorrow without today. So the challenge I can pose to my fellow young people is that our tomorrow is now. Our tomorrow begins now. Let us have the confidence. And of course, we associate ourselves with the right people. If you are a young person and you associate yourself with a good leader, chances are you'll be mentored and you'll get more and more encouragement
Yes.
to aspire to join leadership position. But if you associate yourself with the wrong people, yeah, who don't care about the people, who don't care about leading well, then I can tell you that you'll not be a good leader. So I think it's all about the desire, the passion, the drive, the confidence, and then now you associate yourself with the right people.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm realizing actually you're emphasizing on mentorship.
Yes, yes,
That
yes.
young people really need to really get to be mentored.
That is true.
Because I realize there are also young people who just
Yes.
want to try without leadership.
Yes, yes.
So I think it's really good advice
Yes.
toward the right direction, but people really
Yes.
young people need to be mentored.
That is true.
Now that you're in that position,
Yes, yes.
what are you doing to maybe create a path how to help the young people out there
Yes, yes.
who really want to be mentored or who really want to go into such leadership?
Yes, yes.
Not necessarily speaker, but even in other forms of leadership.
Yes, yes. First of all, many of my friends are young people.
Yeah.
Even the people working with me in my office,
Yes.
many of them are young people. Yeah, that's not to mean that I can't work with old people. I work with them, but I bring young people closer to me so that they also learn from me and also know that if I have made it at my age, they can also make it.
Yeah.
And I meet with so many young people a lot. Even here in Kitui County, we have associations for young people. I always meet with them in the office, out there, we talk, and I encourage them. I visit schools, yeah, I talk to the young students there. Yeah, whenever I meet a young person, I encourage them. And I tell them actually as a young person, something which I must emphasize, Nicholas, is that you must also focus on your education.
Yes.
Because if I had not focused on my education, becoming a master's of law holder at my age,
Yeah.
and I'm about to become a doctor very soon, to finish my PhD, you must also value education. Yeah, education actually is key. Yeah, is key to success in leadership, in politics, everywhere. Yeah, and I know many young people want to join leadership positions for the sake of it, But I can tell them that you must start by focusing on your own professional development. For you to become a good leader, you must also make sure that you focus on your own professional development. Being a young lawyer, I can tell you, Nicholas, that I have handled very big cases in this country. I've appeared in Supreme Court. Yes, yes. And I can tell you, my mentor, my party leader, is the one who made sure that I am there. Actually, my party leader I was following him wherever he was going because he's a senior counsel, and he challenges me a lot. And you see me, I follow his footsteps. By coincidence, I think he's a lawyer. I did not know that I will work with him, but I had passion for law. He became a lawyer. He has done masters in law. I've also done masters in law. He's actually a doctor. Yeah, and I'm trying to also become a doctor. In law. I also want to become a senior counsel like him. I am following footsteps of a very successful leader. So I'm telling my fellow youths, and I always talk to them and challenge them that I am offering my footsteps to them, for them to follow my footsteps. The same way other leaders, like my party leader, offered their footsteps to me to follow. And they have been mentoring me. So I can tell you that as a young leader in this country, I have been talking to my fellow youths. I've actually been advocating for youths in leadership, even in appointive positions, leave alone elective positions. I always advocate for young people to join leadership positions, either in politics or in other organs of government. Yes.
Great. I know in Kenya we have had a lot of push for women to be leadership.
Yes.
And I remember even when I was myself young, I used to know about my a lot.
Yes.
And later we had the affirmative action.
Yes.
And now we have the general that they are trying to really make sure that the equation is right.
Yes.
And I can see that affirmative action really pushed a lot because it is now constitutional that this fraction of women or the other gender, if that happens, in case it happens that now men are less than 5%. Is there affirmative action for youth, or is there such clauses, and is there the goodwill which can be found in the constitution to push youth to be leadership? The same way we now have affirmative action in the constitution. What is being done or what can be done if it is not there, so that it is constitutional? The same way we have affirmative action for women. Is it there for youth, or can it be done? What is your perspective on that?
I think it is there. The youth affirmative action is there, but what lacks is the implementation. Because there are various legal documents, which have been enacted to pursue the youth agenda. Like there are some, even it's a contract, for example, tenders. No, if you are a youth below 35 years of age, we have what we call the AGPO, where as a young person, you should be given a priority. Actually, in the tendering process, the age there as a youth, thus becomes a procurement category for the youth category. Even in appointive positions, there are categories for the youth. They are there. There are categories for the youth. Even in elective positions, for example, when people are being elected, you don't tell them who to elect. But in the nomination, there's a category for the youth and women. I agree with you that much of the focus has been on the women. Because, women in the elective positions, it is very clear that not more than 2/3 of members of elective or appointive are of the same gender. That's why you find out that, like here in the Kitui County Assembly, out of 40 MCS, 39 elected were men and 1 lady. So 19 ladies had to be nominated to make it a third. So for the youth agenda becomes number 2. The first agenda is the women, then we come to the youth. So you find out that these women, they don't go ahead and say most of them should be youth. That is not very clear. So perhaps as we continue, the spirit of our constitution is that the youth and the women, all those categories should be considered in both the elective and appointed positions. Perhaps it is item that legislative bodies like the parliament, and also county assemblies enact laws to put into effect the youth agenda. Yes. Yes.
Do you see yourself trying to push a bit for, and forgive me on this one because I'm a youth and I'm biased on that one.
Yes.
Do you see yourself pushing a bit so that youth can be really in elective or nominated positions, so that the equation as well can be really balanced.
Yes.
Because I believe we are really in times like that. There's a lot in terms of the digital platforms and so forth.
Yes, yes.
Issues of hidden talents and so on. And sometimes I've even heard, listened to some leaders who have tried even to push against some platforms which I know are beneficial to me. Like when we talk about social media platforms,
yes,
of course there is the negative and the positive.
Yes.
But when you see someone who is above the category of youth trying to push it away, without the regard that these platforms are right now creating and growing networking, they are giving young people opportunity to sell, to buy, to really showcase their talents. Not everyone can be showcased on TV or radio. But it has made the world a global village that you can access information, you can share talent, you can learn. Diego, a very good sportsman from our country, from the YouTube. So how can we push, usually there is a need for us now, like yourself, when you push so that probably youth can really be given a platform in terms of constitutional-wise, even if it's through the representation, or maybe changing some clauses for the constitution, probably even from the county. So because I understand that counties are given, there are laws that they make for the counties, not necessarily for the national. And of course there are laws that are made at the national assembly which cover the whole country. In opposition, use yourself pushing for such.
Yes, I can be on record and say that as a young person, I will stand firm and push and fight for the youth agenda. And if I get a chance to make an impact so that this agenda is actualized, whether through legislation, I'll do so. And I will actually challenge my fellow youth leaders, especially those I serve with in the County Assembly of Kitui, that we can begin at our level and come up with legislations. We can have a law in Kitui County where we say that this percentage of people in elective or appointive positions are of the youth category. The same way we have pushed for the women category, we can also push for the youth category, and I want to challenge my other leaders at the national level and across Africa actually, because these problems we face in Kenya are also faced in other countries in Africa, and we should push for the youth agenda to our level best, because the young people are the leaders of today and tomorrow. And if we say that some positions only, the first thing we should do, Nicholas, is to remove the various obstacles which young people go through. For example, you are told for you to be elected as president, you must have, is it that 5 years and above? For example, for you to be appointed as an MD of a company, or for you to be appointed as a minister, a cabinet secretary, or a county cabinet, the county executive committee member or chief officer, or whichever position. Sometimes we are given a lot of years in experience. If you tell a young person of 32 years like myself that for you to become, if I was told for me to become a speaker, I must have 10 years of experience, I will not be here. If you tell a young person that for them to join a particular position, they must have 10 years of experience, they will not be there. So I think of importance is all these obstacles, which sometimes are in the various laws. They need to be removed. If you go for an interview and you qualify and you defend yourself, the age factor should not be considered. The only part where we should look at the age factor is maybe you must be above 18 for you to be as an adult. Because we also discourage child labor. So long as you're an adult above 18, you deserve to occupy any position. So I think those are the things we shall be fighting for, so that young people are fully involved in any position. Yes.
And moving a bit far from the youth towards Panafricanism. Right now there's a global conversation that has actually been happening for a while. Because even from our own country, we had the former president, Kenyatta, trying to really talk to a number of African countries so that we can move towards Panafricanism. Do you think that it is the right time for Africans to really to speak with one voice in terms of unifying Africa, and do young people have a role to play in this?
Yes, actually, Nicholas, I am a strong believer of Pan-Africanism, and I believe I will start with what you have added with the young people have a very vital role in achieving Pan-Africanism. Don't forget that we are suffering from neo-colonialism. Our elders, could have been part of, or could have been there when the colonialism was happening. And this neo-colonialism is actually everywhere in Africa. And you see, that's why you see regional organizations where those African states colonized by one colonial master, they have their own policies, they have their own organizations. Those with another colonial master, they are separate. And I think that is what the colonial masters did deliberately, so that there's no unity in Africa. And they left, and they are very happy because there is what they gain when African states are not united. But I can tell you, Nicholas, that there is a lot we can achieve as a continent. You know, US, all those states brought together. USA is a superpower because of that unity. If Africa, for example, the spirit which the late Muammar Gaddafi had of unifying Africa, where there are no borders, where there is no issue of different currencies, we have a common currency, where we live as one big country, where we have maybe one common agenda, maybe the political agenda, economic agenda. Even when it comes to the military, for example, But do you expect the colonial masters to support that? The answer is no. They will not support it. So it will take another generation, Nicholas, to actualize the spirit of Pan-Africanism. Let us not expect the old generation to do so. That's why the young people must be empowered. The young people must rise to the occasion and join leadership positions and fight for this Pan-Africanism. It will not be easy because we shall face a lot of resistance from so many external forces, from the former colonial masters. Chances are, if they hear somebody like me pushing for this, and we know some people have even been victimized because of pushing for Pan-Africanism, it will take a lot of struggle, it will take a lot of sacrifice, and the right people to do that sacrifice are the young people who don't have the chains of colonialism. We are fresh. We want to fight for one Africa, one united Africa. And I can say, Nicholas, that if as young people we join our leaders, and I want to applaud the former President Uhuru Kenyatta. He tried his best when he was the president. Our current president, President Ruto, is also trying his best, opening the borders for foreigners to come to Kenya with no visa restrictions. I think we must applaud him for that. I wish other countries in Africa could do the same. Maybe we can start from amongst ourselves, where if I want to go to South Africa, I want to go to Nigeria, I can go there with my Kenyan ID. Or maybe you can have African passport. In East Africa, we have the East African passport. Maybe at the AU level, our leaders should push for African passport. We can begin there. If we have African passport and you can go anywhere in Africa, and whatever service you can receive in Kenya, you can receive in Liberia, in Libya, in Egypt, we can begin there. So I want to challenge our leaders at the AU. Let them have this Pan-African agenda on the priority list, in their agenda list, and fight for it. And I believe that if we fully involve young people in this, we have the fresh ideas, the fresh energy, we have the desire, the zeal, and if the leaders can give us the necessary mentorship, then we shall actualize the Pan-African spirit. Yes.
You're talking about the AU leadership.
Yes.
And that brings a question which I really want to talk about.
Yes.
Right now there is a push from our president and a number of leaders from within the East African community that come on February next year, that Raila will assume the office of the AU chair. If you are still right now with the Raila Amolo Odinga, and assume now he gets that position to be the chair of the AU come February next year, what is that one thing to tell him to effect?
Number one, I'm a strong follower of Raila Amolo Odinga through my party leader because in 3 successive elections, our party leader since 2013 has been supporting Raila, and I've been there. I joined politics in 2012 when I was in the university, and I've been in Wiper. And I can say that Raila Amolo Odinga means well for Africans, especially the young people. There are so many young people who have been mentored by Raila Amolo Odinga. Many of them. You saw the other day CS Moses Kuria visiting Raila Amolo Odinga. Actually, it is Raila who educated him. Yeah, myself. Yeah, Kalonzo Musyoka educated me. You know, yes, yeah. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, he took me to high school. He educated me, and he brought me up. He even offered me a job opportunity. Yeah, and Raila has done the same. One thing I can ask him, for him to really help actualize the Pan-African spirit, because being the chair, you will have a very critical role to play. Yeah, and I know he means well for Africa. And I know if well supported, I'll request all African states to support him. Yeah, he has really tried. He's actually a true Pan-Africanist. Raila Amolo Odinga is a true Pan-Africanist. The AU deserves a true Pan-Africanist. And I believe with now us young people involved and brought on board, we shall now actualize this Pan-African agenda. Before even we reach 2063, yeah, as early as possible, we shall have one African state. Yeah, perhaps some of us will be very old if God gives us that grace to be there. But we know that one day, one time, these African leaders, if they unite and give it their best, we shall achieve it. Yes. The parting shot I can give is that young people, if given a chance, can even move mountains. Young people, if given a chance, can help Kenya and all other African states unify and achieve the Pan-African spirit. And I want to urge all leaders to support young people, because the youth are the future leaders, and that future begins now. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Nicholas.
I'll be coming later when I see some implementation.
Yes.
Then we follow up and maybe a cover for the
Thank you.
implementation.
Thank you, sir.